It's Mason, aka Littlefoot. Now we're trying to call him Bigfoot's birthday. Bigfoot's a better name. His foot was too big for his shoe after all. That's why he got the name. We're gonna surprise him when he comes out with a big makeshift birthday cake and something else, I think, up at Campbell's post.
Yeah. I know we got a lot of riveting footage from here, but we're just now leaving Doc Campbell's post. The last bastion of free society and hope for a town that's been named fucking Pie Town. All these places sound like some kind of fake bullshit. Everywhere we've been on this trail feels like we're always having quests and things more than any other through hike. I don't know why.
Go to Doc Campbell, collect the golden snitch.
We're leaving Doc Campbell's here, doing the road walk to the cliff dwellings. We've picked up Bigfoot, who used to be named Littlefoot, but that was a dumb name because his foot was too big for his shoe, not too little. We were tracking him down for about 2 weeks in the woods. Nobody knew where he was.
But every once in a while there was a sighting.
Yeah, very enigmatic creature, so his name has to be Bigfoot now. We'll see what happens. The gentlemen are not happy. This is the longest fucking mile of road walking we've ever been on.
Better be worth it.
Yeah, it's been hours.
Days.
Yeah, something.
Some might say weeks.
We are off trail by quite a wide margin here. But we're coming to see the cliff dwellings. And it better be cool because this is a pretty big pain to get up here. It is kind of nice so far though. It's a lot of soot on the ceiling, these from hundreds of years of burning. Can you believe somebody lived in here?
It's so cool in here.
So this is the Gila cliff dwellings. It's actually in a gorgeous little canyon. You can tell it's really in a spot that would have been easily defensible, and it's really cool and kind of a lot bigger inside up here than you would have expected.
Whoa. Now I know what people are talking about. It's like a slot train almost.
Yeah, look up ahead.
Oh yeah. Good.
Wow. This is Little Bear Canyon, which we've heard a lot about, and it is magnificent. Very difficult to tell how high those rock spires up there are, but I'd say hundreds of feet. Super narrow, a little stream of water going down the entire path. It's cooler down here than it is outside. Sure, sunlight rarely ever gets in here. It's really pretty in general. Just all these little winds, twists and turns around corners, like what I'm about to come up over. Wow. It's been going like this for a mile or two. God, something else. And here the canyon's opening up to empty into the Gila River itself. These massive cottonwoods catching the sun here on sunset. This is the Gila River. Rock spires kind of surrounding us in a bowl. This is the creek coming from Little Bear Canyon, which we just walked down. And a campsite that could fit 50 people, yet nobody here but us. Probably the nicest campsite I've ever had the opportunity to camp in. Really, truly an incredible place.
Yeah, so did I, man, but you got to get here and see this, dude.
Yeah, while the sun's still out.
Yeah. You're so lucky you got here when you did. Oh, that's gonna blow your mind, man. It just gets better and better.
Just goddamn birthday.
Oh.
You gotta see this cliff.
Oh,
while the
look
sun's
at
still
those. Look at those.
Walk straight out to that point.
And then look over to your right once you get out there.
What it's about. This is what it's about.
Amen, brother. You can't buy this shit, dude.
I like the idea of all of us buying a boat
Oh yeah.
that we can all live on.
Fucking A.
This area has been much more visually striking than the lower half of the Gila River section that we did coming into Doc Campbell's. I didn't know really what to expect, but it's about the same amount of river crossings, with the cliffs and the trees and really everything about it feature-wise is much larger. Still very cold in the morning, but I've seen some of the most impressive campsites I've ever seen anywhere on any trail coming through this section. It's the kind of place that makes me feel like I definitely want to come back here and bring up friends in the future. I don't know what these are, but they look like they're filled with eggs of some sort. They've been floating down the creek, eggs or seeds, but they're kind of a slimy little tube. I've seen a few of them floating down the river here. I'm gonna look up what they are later. Maybe I'll add it into the video. I'm now walking with Bushwhack and Clover. The two others are farther behind us, and I've got an update here. We were supposed to stop at some hot springs, but there was a single man with his penis tucked between his legs like Buffalo Bill. And, you know, I know nudity in hot springs is relatively normal, but for some reason, just one guy nude with his dick tucked between his legs is kind of out of the ordinary. And so we just passed by that. So sorry, no nice hot springs footage. And then also, I was supposed to do this in 6 days, but my appetite has, the hiker hunger has hit immensely in the last day, and I've kind of been like ravaging through my food bag. So I might amp up the pace, try to get to Pie Town in 5, and stretch my food out a little bit less. But we'll see. Hopefully everything works out. Getting further and further up the canyon here. It's getting smaller as far as the river goes and tighter in corridors. And although it's beautiful, one thing needs to be mentioned, which is none of the weekend backpackers really make it up this far. It's really only CDT through hikers. And so at this point, the trail is virtually gone. It's like it needs to be beaten back and reforged every spring. And we're on the earlier side of through hikers right now, so it's pretty hard to find. We've still got like 30 miles or so up canyon to go, and it's really slow traveling because we just constantly keep getting off trail or losing our way, just knocking through bushes and stuff. It's all part of the adventure though, right? So as I was saying, the trail kind of disappeared, and in this case it just turned into a waterfall. We stopped though, and we're gonna have an exercise in futility, and we've washed our shoes out as if that's gonna do anything. As if in the next 10 seconds when we leave here, they're not immediately going to get filled with rocks again. We also took the opportunity to swim. Bushwhack's over there doing some river laundry, but you couldn't ask for a more beautiful spot for all this. I'm legitimately pretty sure that the trail is just walking up the center of the river at this point. I mean, it's unique, but there is no trail. I've got to say, the Gila is really impressive. It's one of those places where the first day I thought it's pretty nice. It looks a lot like how some of the pictures I've seen look. But every day we've been out here, the higher we get in this canyon, every 100 feet of elevation we gain, it's more and more impressive. Another detail that's worth mentioning is that we got this in a pretty low snow year, which is also a low water year for the Gila. People we talked to last year who did this had a really hard time getting up into these upper parts. There's actually a second trail, a high route that parallels this trail, and it's a lot more direct and technically a lot easier, I guess. And in higher water years, or even normal water years, early, people won't opt to take this low route because of the difficulty. So we got pretty lucky with that, but it just means we have less water in the desert in general, which is just a, you know, it's a trade-off. We've got some busy beavers here. They've been sawing down all these trees. They made a pretty big dam too. I feel like I've only ever seen one of these in cartoons, being a Texas boy, but here it is in real life. This is the kind of thing that's been happening a lot. You lose the trail, you follow a red herring. Here I am on like a 70-degree slope. And if you look really close on the other shore, there's a trail. Don't know when I lost it. Don't really know how to get back to it, but I'm just gonna keep bushwhacking because that seems like the only logical thing to do. Okay, that's where I came from up there. Coming back to the river. We've got a little bit of a down climb, but hey, pretty good. And here we are, freshly on flat ground. And getting up higher here in elevation, the trees seem to be thinning out and turns into more just pines again, which it's kind of welcome because the undergrowth is getting to be a bit much. We've gone almost 20 miles today and just been basically kicking through all this undergrowth and shit and stumbling over slick rocks. And to be completely honest, my legs are toast. My feet are toast too. And it's kind of having this effect. It's like the end of 1984 where Winston yearns for the bullet, or that like Dr. Strangelove, like how I learned to stop worrying and love the river crossings, because even though they were annoying at first, I kind of look forward to them because it's the only thing that's kind of soothing. It's like a nice, cool, temporary aid to the way my legs feel. I didn't think I'd think this earlier in this trip.
It is me, Ghost Camper. I have camped too far from where I thought I was going to camp because I couldn't find good camping. And so now I'm basically alone. So I don't know if I'll see the others for a few days. But all's well otherwise.